Hello fashion lovers, welcome back to my channel. So today we are cutting this fitted gown, square neck, both front and back is square neck. All right, so cut this dress with me. Let's cut it together. Now the sleeve of this dress, I will be using a lighter chiffon for the sleeve of this dress. Okay, and for the button in the front, it is design. The buttons in the front is basically for design. There is no button on it. Okay, so it's just for design. Now this is the fabric I will be using to cut this. Okay, this is a lycra. Okay, but this lycra has this stiff firmness. It is not light, all right, and it is not that stretchy. Okay, so this is what I'll be using. Looking at it, this is actually Ferris green, but because of the picture it is giving blue, but it is not blue, it is actually Ferris green. All right, I don't know why the video is not giving it that particular color, but it is not blue. All right, so this is the calculation I will be working with. Now this dress has a half cut, which is the half length. Okay, then the down part of it. But for the course of this video, for those that do not know how to cut a pencil skirt, there is a video on my channel on how you cut a pencil skirt. Okay, I will be cutting the upper part first in this video, and you can see all the measurements. Gown length 42, nipple to nipple 8, bust point 10, half length 17, hip 42, divided by 2, and we add our sewing allowance. All right, so this is my pattern paper. All right, this part is the unopened side. The first thing I'll go ahead is my shoulder. This is one of the easiest fitted stylish dress you can make for yourself. All right, so you go ahead and mark your shoulder. You indicate your armhole depth, which for me I'm going with 8. The next thing is the bust point and the half length of your dress. Okay, the half length is 17. I've gone ahead to mark it properly. This is the B. Right at the B, you equally mark your shoulder measurement, which is 8. Connect it straight this way. Then you curve your armhole before you start marking all the necessary measurement. Now the measurement without sewing allowance, the bust is 10 and quarter, the waist is 8. So adding all the allowance, all that I'm adding right here, these are all the sewing allowance. All right, I will go ahead and connect them. I can actually mark it without the allowances, right? Now if you watch my sewing allowance, I added +3. Okay, for my sewing allowance at the bust, and waist is 4. So the next thing is to cover our armhole. Okay, now once you curve your armhole, what we need to mark next is our nipple to nipple. The fabric you saw earlier is stretchy, so because of that I'm marking 4 inches all through. 4 inches, that is what I'm marking all through. All right, starting from the beginning here down, 4 inches. Okay, the next thing for us now is connect them straight down. All right, straight down. You come here. Now you're either taking 3/4, half inches, or 1 inches. But for the course of this video, I'm going for 3/4 inches. Okay, 3/4, because the fabric is not that the fabric is stretchy, so I do not want it too curvy. All right, so I went for the 3/4 on both the upper part on the waist part. Now this is looking at the style in the picture. It is compulsory you use this kind of depth. Right, this is princess dart from the shoulder All these parts will be cut off. Princess that from the shoulder, that is what they use. It is very important. Okay, you cannot use any other kind of that, but if you decide to use princess, normal armhole princess, that is okay. Now from the shoulder, you extend your shoulder. You can extend it by 1 inches by 2 inches, whichever one you recurve it. You can see how I'm recurving it. Why am I doing it? Because of these darts that will be cut out. If I do that, the shoulder will be reduced. Alright, the shoulder will be reduced if I don't extend the shoulder. It is very, very important. At times, you can actually finish sewing of the dart before covering your armhole. You can see the armhole, I extended it. Alright, though at the end we have to remeasure the shoulder. Now let's go for the cutting of the back. This is the front. Okay, let's go for the cutting of the back. After that, we can, cut the front properly and place them on the fabric and cut. So for my pattern paper for the back has zip, and the back is equally square neck. So what I'll do first, wherever there is zip allowance, you go ahead and mark all the zip. Mark your zip allowance, and my zip allowance for the course of this video, this clothes, this style, it is 1 inches. All right, you can use up to 1.5 inches, but what I have here, it is 1 inches for my zip allowance all through. Okay, 1 inches. Now the next thing we will do is connect our shoulder. From where the zip stops, you mark your shoulder, you mark your armhole depth. This is it. Alright, next thing is you mark your half length. I can either mark my half length to be accurate, 17. When placing it on the fabric, I will add sewing allowance, so I can go ahead and mark 18 with the with the joining allowance. So I went ahead and marked 18. Now right at the B, we equally mark the shoulder, connect it straight. Alright, then you come here, mark your measurement without sewing allowance. Now the dart for the back and the front are not the same, so the sewing allowance I can work with. For the front, it is 2 inches. Yeah. For the back rather is 2 inches. For the front, it is more. Alright, I can go more for the front. Now the next thing is our nipple to nipple. Looking at this dress, I do not need mistakes, so I'm going for 3.5. Alright, the depth can be 6, 3.5 by 6 inches. The depth is 6, the width is 3.5. Why did I go for 3.5? I do not want to, I do not want that square to be going off my shoulder. Alright, this particular square is for both front and back. Now for the dart of this dress, I will be going with normal waist dart. That does not mean you cannot equally apply the princess dart from the shoulder or any other princess dart. Okay, but normal dart is very much okay for me. Alright, so I'll go ahead and cut. When you have square front and back, you have to be very careful with your width. That is the number one place you should be very careful. The width of the dress you're cutting. The width has to be as small as possible so it doesn't go off the shoulder, because you're dealing with front square at the front, square at the back. You need to be very careful. So you just go ahead. Now for my square, I like, always whenever I'm cutting my back, this zip allowance part, I fold them. especially when I'm dealing with V, but I'm not working with V, it is square. So folded, I will cut it this way. This way. Remember, the neck width for this dress is 3.5, so that it doesn't go off the shoulder, but the depth is 6. Now I equally slant my back this way, all right, to reduce bulging, bulging at the back, zip bulge. I take out this, all right, to avoid it bulging at the back, popping up. Now our back is ready. Now this is the front. The front, we will be cutting it this way. You can see how I'm cutting it, all right. So you cut it this way. Cut out all these parts. Make sure you position it very well before cutting. Avoid mistakes. Now this particular up front, before you work on the neck, you must finish with the dart. Alright, so what I'll do is take this piece, place it on the fabric and cut them one after the other first. Before cutting the neck width and neck depth of the front of this dress, it is advised you finish sewing of the darts. Okay, so this is the pieces. I will cut them. Alright, this one first, get the 2 pieces. I place them very well and cut. Alright, it is advised you finish. Now for this one, it has to be folded into 2 this way. I'll get the piece too. Alright, now before doing anything, alright, I'm just zipping this. So this is it. You pin it together. I'm assuming this is more like the sewing. You must sew it up. Alright, you must sew it up. Remember, I've used these pieces to cut my pieces. I'm just joining this together, assuming it is sewn up, so I can't be able to show you how to work on the neck width and the neck depth. Okay, I'm just holding it up. I've already cut the pieces after sewing it before working on the neck width and on the square in the front. All right, now I've joined it together. All right, this is how it looks. Okay, and when you finish joining, when cutting the neck width, getting the neckline, you need to be very careful to avoid mistakes. All right, so this is it. Okay, first thing I will do now is to measure my shoulder. Okay, now looking at it this way, see what I have. It's not even up to 8. Alright, so I'll mark my neck width 3.5. For the neck depth, I'm going for 5. Okay, you can go up to 6. It's a matter of choice, the one you want. Alright, now for my shoulder, what I have here is, you can see, almost 7 and some inches. It's not up to 8. Imagine I did not consider extending the shoulder. Alright, it will be shortened. So this way, you can curve your square this way, or whichever one, it is very okay. You go straight or you have it curved at the sharp part, they are still okay. Alright, so you cut. Now our neckline is ready, our square is ready. You must finish the sewing of your darts before cutting the neck. The next thing is to slant your shoulder by 1 inch. Now let's open it up and see. This is it. Okay. Now the fabric I used is thick. For the sleeve, I will be using a light chiffon. Okay, a light chiffon for the sleeve of this dress. This is more like a corporate dress. So this is how it will come out. So guys, remember, if you have any question, drop it on the comment section. All right, if you have not subscribed, please do subscribe to the channel. So this is it. This is how it should be. All right, square for both front and the back. Remember, you must finish the dart before working on the neck.